Hello, my name is Corwyn.
And I'm James.
And I'm Nina.
Oh, and I'm Nina. Yeah.
We don't usually add the guest in, but I wanted to. And thanks for listening to This Movie's Gay and also watching. Hello, everyone here on Twitch. Thank you for being here.
Corwyn.
Also, hi, Nicole.
Nicole, Corwyn said hi. Corwyn, quit being a humble man. It's your birthday today.
I will never in my life be humble.
Oh, you were. The podcast feed is like, wow, I thought it was his birthday today. He's being pretty humble.
Literally my birthday. Hello. And welcome to This Movie's My Birthday.
Yes.
Gay.
Yes. That's a great title.
This movie's my birthday. I actually forced James to watch this. So this is the first time we've done a show and we've watched the entire show. Minus Caleb Gallo, because that was a web series that was, an hour and a half in length. But this one was a little lengthier.
Well, last episode we did Why Are You Like This?
Oh, that's fair. We did do the whole thing.
But that was also
2 in a row.
Like 2 hours long total.
Yeah, it was short. It was short. This one was a little longer. I think this is the most content I've made you watch for an episode.
Generally, you don't make me watch things, but this I felt like, wow, Corwyn is making me watch this.
100% I'm making you watch this.
That tracks.
And then I brought Nina in because I was like, Nina would want to watch this and has before.
That's the thing is, you said it and I was like, it is about time for a second rewatch, ain't it?
It is about. It was about. And the good thing. Okay, so for those of you on Twitch that don't know what movie we're talking about, because the people that are in the podcast when it comes out, we're talking about Love, Victor. They'll have the title. Y'all don't have the title. We're talking about Love, Victor, the TV show, the spinoff from Love, Simon. Nina, as all our guests do, would you like to give us a quick synopsis of this?
I was ready.
Can I say something real quick?
James wants to say some stuff beforehand.
I am so glad we have a guest because I knew Corwyn would ask me and I'd be like, no. You made me watch this. You give the synopsis.
And then you know what I would have said to that?
It's his birthday.
It's my birthday.
And I would have just pulled up IMDb, read the synopsis, and said, there you go, Corwyn.
I literally kissed my mic on that one, too. I was like, it's my birthday, kiss.
Yum, 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 yum.
Oh, that was quite explicit.
How was that explicit?
Because you were like making yum noises.
I also technically when you pull off the windscreen, it's kind of like pulling back the foreskin and you go.
Oh boy!
You pull back a foreskin, first of all.
What?
I said that is not how you pull back a foreskin.
Well, no, yes, but I'm saying it's like. I didn't say, oh my God, did you guys know?
You said it's pulling back.
Like.
It is not like that.
Okay, well, I can't pull it back like this. I guess I could to get it taut and tight and go, but no, all right, okay. This is like circumcising the penis, and then you can straight to the head where the magic happens.
All right.
That was the journey that we went on. That poor microphone.
That poor microphone.
Nina, go ahead.
I was gonna say,
did James want to say something else?
No, that's it.
Yeah, was that it?
No, that was it. It was him.
Just the microphone.
No, the thing was the synopsis thing, not the microphone.
Oh yeah.
We got so sidetracked.
So much so. Okay, synopsis. So Love, Victor is about Victor and his family move from Texas and they move to Atlanta. They go to and Victor and his sister go to Creekwood, where Simon Spear went a few years ago. I can't tell how many years have passed, to be honest. But then, first day of school is super rough, and he learns about, Simon's story, and he realizes that he's kind of like Simon, but not really, and that's kind of the point of Love, Victor, right? He's, not like Simon, but he is. Interesting.
Yeah.
And then he, kind of slides into Simon's DMs and started correspondence with Simon about, he's trying to figure out who he is, and he isn't sure like, yeah, who he is, like, is if he's gay or not. And he kind of uses his time at Creekwood to figure out who he is. He gets super flustered around Benji, who like first day of school, they're like, oh, he's the gay kid. And so he's like, oh my gosh. And he gets like kind of that like starry-eyed montage where like Benji's like drinking from the water fountain and Victor's like, oh shit.
Literally every time Benji comes on screen and it's like Victor seeing him, he's just like,
yeah, it's like very like slow motion, like starry-eyed cartoon look. I love it. Anyway, and so yeah, so there's definitely an attraction there, but then he also meets Mia, who is like the high school, like pretty popular girl kind of thing. And she's super nice instead of being like a mean girl. But he also kind of has feelings towards her. So he kind of like is writing to Simon about how he feels about these two people that he's met. And then there's some like kind of like surrounding characters. We have Andrew, who's the like jock and kind of a bully, who kind of like follows Victor around and plays basketball with him. Then there's Lake, and she's Mia's friend. And she kind of she goes through an arc, because we'll talk about it. But like, yeah, she starts off as like mean girl, kind of ends up as like a cool girl. Anyway, then we have Felix, and we meet him immediately, like in the series, and I love it. But he's like the oddball friend that becomes Victor's friend. And so then Simon, like, and Victor, they have a correspondence. Simon gives really super great advice throughout all these episodes. Victor finally goes to NYC and like meets Simon and his friends and kind of learns what the community is about. And then Victor, at the very end, he ends up coming out, and it's pretty cute. But it's a rough episode as well. So it comes out, which you feel good about, and he comes out to Felix, but it ends up, yeah, there's a lot of feelings. So anyway, that's kind of the synopsis without getting into too many specifics.
So fun fact, when I started rewatching this, I rewatched it with some of my friends and rewatched it 2 different times. Between the time that I told James to watch it and now, 2 different times. And it was amazing. And I cried many times.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I definitely teared up this time and was like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
Ooh.
It's like the part specifically when he comes out to Felix, and Felix's reaction to it, just sobbing. I sob.
Yeah.
Every time I've seen it, I can't watch that scene and not sob, and I don't know what it is.
It's just
but
super
it's so
heartfelt.
Cute. It's heartfelt.
And it's short and sweet and to the point. Like, it doesn't try to like make it awkward in any sort of way. I don't know.
And it's like, it's the first person that he's coming out to, and it's the first person that is Victor's friend that we're introduced to.
Yes.
And
like the first person outside the family too.
The first person outside the family, yeah.
Because that family is such a big thing.
Because I was going to say, like, a boy's first friend is his mom. So, like, technically we've been introduced to his first friend.
Well, okay, James, don't be weird.
Do you want to talk about weird moms? I won't get on my goddamn...
No, I was not going to sidetrack to weird moms.
The episode with...
Why are you pulling your hair?
Moms are gross, okay?
Oh, hey.
And more so mother-in-laws. Like, I am so... Like, that episode where his grandparents come, it's like, just...
Oh, my God.
Just shut up. All of you.
Yeah.
That episode really showed where the show was going to go with Victor, especially because... So in that episode, they're having a birthday party at the house because Victor is trying to be this people pleaser, and he's trying to like keep everyone from fighting and keep them happy. He didn't want to have a party, but his mom did, so he was like, "Yeah, let's do it," because it distracted his parents from fighting. But his grandparents were in town, and his grandparents are homophobic. And he invited Benji and Benji's boyfriend to come to the party. And Benji and his boyfriend got in a fight because Victor sort of closeted them in front of his grandparents, which wasn't a cool thing. But also, like, been there, understand. Understand. Yeah. Derek is a dick. It's really not that hard to just not talk about being gay. Like, just don't kiss and don't talk about it.
Isn't his name Dylan?
A couple hours. No, his name is Derek.
Yeah.
Oh.
His name is fucking Derek.
I don't think in that situation Derek was a dick, but other situations, like if someone...
No, he was a dick in part of it. He was like Simon. Okay, so what happened was Benji and Derek had a little tiff. They fought. They made up. They kissed. The grandpa saw and told the dad, and they were like, "You need to tell your friends to cut that shit out and get out of here," or something like that. And Victor, when they told Victor that, Victor turned around to do it, looked at them, and was like, "No, bitch, this is my party.
Yeah,
those are my friends." And we were like, "Yes, Victor, yes." And Derek at that point, like, you know, Derek and Benji both saw that. And then, like, you know, they were at the party for a little longer or whatever. They hadn't even got their Tres Leches cake out yet to sing happy birthday. Benji was like, "Oh, we're going to head out. Derek needs to be home by 10 to watch reality TV.
I remember that. I was like, what a lame excuse.
Yeah, and that's when the cake got brought out to sing happy birthday. And Derek was like trying to pull Benji out before they even fucking sang happy birthday. Just fucking sing happy birthday and then leave. Don't be an impatient dick.
I feel like that episode may have triggered something on your birthday. Like something
may have.
How dare he?
How dare you try to point a boy around?
Corwyn, you are screaming into the mic and just a complete. I don't know what you just said.
It was a little garbled.
But I don't think
How dare you pull your boyfriend out of my party on my birthday?
I think he was justified in being upset on that day. However,
he was justified in being upset, but then Victor stood up for them, and it's like, okay. I mean, he stood up for them.
I
think, at that point, it's like, you know.
But in the situation where he is not justified, this is for anyone listening right now. If anyone starts saying things like, "Oh man, why celebrate anniversaries? That bullshit Hallmark stuff," that's someone who would be okay with cheating on you. I'm sorry, like if they don't have any nostalgia for your relationship, which are also, hey man, don't celebrate birthdays. Don't celebrate Christmas, the day of Jesus's birth. That's an anniversary. You can't celebrate
Jesus's birth.
It's what the Christian faith uses in remembrance and recognition of the three wise men, that North Star. Oh my God, she never even had sex, Corwyn, but is having a baby? Guess what that is?
Okay, you're getting way off track, James.
Yeah, guys.
We're talking about how shitty Derek was.
Yeah, don't trust that guy. I knew they were, in that instance, I was like, oh, they're not. Him being like,
That was the first look of Derek being kind of a dick.
No, that's straight
him, like, pulling
dick.
No. I mean, like at the party was him pulling Benji out or trying to pull Benji out like before they even served the cake. Like,
I do think though, like Derek overall was not a great guy. Also, in my synopsis, I also forgot to mention the parents. Victor's parents are also fighting. Because the mom had an affair real quickly.
The mom had an affair, and we learned that early on.
And that's why we had to move to Texas, or they had to move to Texas, or from Texas.
Moved to Texas in the middle of the year.
Yeah.
And Pilar, Victor's younger, is this like a book club?
Oh, yeah.
Basically, Grumbo. Pilar was pissed because, you know, she moved and lost her boyfriend and her friends and all that. She's not good with change. Mm-hmm. And then they find out that the mom cheated because Pilar makes her a Facebook, and the guy reaches out and is like, "Hey."
It's just crazy. I was like, oh God, I forgot about all of that.
Yeah. Like, and then we just know that Victor's dad did something else too. We just don't know what it is. And then we find out towards the end that Victor's dad beats the shit out of the man that she cheats on him with.
So, spoiler alert, I didn't enjoy this show.
James, I hate you.
The acting, like, okay, this is a world where there are extras and a bunch of people, but this doesn't feel lived in. Also, TC and Nicole said the same thing. These are teenagers who are dealing with teenage issues as 25-year-olds. A woman who is 16 or 15, I'm not sure how old Mia is here, she says like, oh, you want to know what? I was in a really dark place and I kind of like needed someone and I feel bad and I took advantage of that situation that we were both in. Like no 16-year-old is talking like that. But when
they literally are, so that is a good point. They have a weird adult issues when they're kid, and like it's definitely it would have been better set at college, I feel, but they couldn't do that because Simon went to Creekwood High School. It definitely would have been set better at college, but because some of the issues are just weird, especially with Mia, she is the pettiest character. She is so fucking petty.
I think with her too, where it was like from the beginning, she like lives in this mansion by herself. And I was like, I don't know. I was just like, this is such a weird problem to have. Like, talk about first world. I don't know. It was just so weird. Like, my dad leaves me alone forever, and I live in this mansion. I was like,
I have to pay the housekeeper with writing his checks.
Yeah, weird. I don't know.
I can attest to this. Like, I didn't grow up wealthy, but I grew up like middle class. And because of my brother and sister, I was left alone because my parents were always dealing with them. And yeah, I make jokes that every like Thanksgiving, major holidays, I was left alone because my dad and stepmom would go to my stepmom's family. But that allowed me to do all of the shit that I did. Was I horribly depressed? That's not on them. Technically it is. They should have kept me in therapy. But, when your teenager says, hey, I would like to go off my antidepressants because I feel like I'd be more creative than them, don't listen to your son. You're the adult. Shut them up and say like, okay, maybe we need to get you on a little bit more even. So
the thing about it though, with you're talking about them being adult problems and stuff, thinking about it, it's literally like me and Andrew. Me and Andrew are like adult problems, adult weirdness, and then everyone else is like high school.
Well, no, I'm saying they're teenage problems, but dealing it like that, they are acting like adults when they deal with it.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm saying that's Mia and Andrew.
Well, no, even Mean Girl that I don't... Blake or Blake? Is it Blake or Lake?
Lake.
No, Lake.
Like swimming?
Lake Michigan.
Okay.
Lake, like yeah.
So a teenager would not go up after like a prom queen or winter formal queen, whatever. And in that situation, she is dealing with that as an adult would.
I don't think so. She basically wanted to be on stage and to get Felix back. Mm-hmm. I don't think it was about her accepting the award for Mia. It was, I want to do a Mean Girls and get on stage and get.
Well, that's why I kind of mentioned that she she has an arc. Like this girl totally has an arc. And so does Andrew kind of, where they start off like kind of like mean people, like mean girls, mean boy, bully, weirdness, very judgmental. And then when like Lake and Felix are kissing and making out, and she's like, oh, I can't do this because she is ashamed to be seen with him. And then at the very end where she like comes full circle and she's like, who gives a shit? I love you. I was like, okay. She has an arc.
But it was still a little Mean Girl because she literally watched Felix get asked to that dance in front of her. And
right. No, totally. And she is like totally like petty in some moments. I don't know. I guess that's also why they showed you the moment of like her mom like calling her out, or like
her mom being very
like pushy and
great.
Yeah, and so like it kind of gives you like an insight to maybe why she acts the way she does, right? Because and that's kind of why, I don't know.
I mean, maybe I should have had rich people on this show.
Right.
We rich. We don't know these rich problems.
Right, exactly. I'm like, I don't know about that.
I don't know nothing about that. What?
I use bar soap that I got from my mom for all of my body, including my hair.
James, I'm buying you shampoo.
I was going to say, let's get
and guess what?
shampoo.
When the bar runs out, I will use that shampoo on all of my body, including my skin.
Hey, it works. I'm not going to say it doesn't.
I also have a very hairy body as well. I would like to pose a question or pose a thing that I noticed. And that is, also Nicole noticed it as well, and Nicole went in on it. Andrew is not a mean person. At least not a good mean person. He is not good at being mean. His idea of bullying someone is raising $5,000 for them.
Okay, He was doing that to poor shame him though.
I would say, hey,
And
thanks for
it
that
wasn't- he wasn't
$5,000,
raising-
bro.
It was literally poor shame. He was like, oh, I thought these would be a little steep because he was pissed that Victor, beat him in that game.
Nicole,
That literally, and then you can't ignore that he got in. Victor came up to him at his table, and because Andrew wanted to make it a big thing, Andrew got up and backed up and pulled the entire school in. Andrew wanted it to be a scene. He's a dick.
Yeah.
I guess
And he's manipulative.
speaking as a shameless person, I would be like, fuck yeah, man. Thanks for that $5,000. I only
Yeah, but
needed
it's
a way to go about
500.
it.
There's
Way to go
a
about
different way to go about it. Yeah. Like, also, if Victor had never found out about it, is Victor really going to get that money?
I think
I was
so.
like, I don't think he would give
No.
him the monies.
Andrew is
I don't know.
Andrew's just doing a power move.
But then
Yeah.
if you do find out about it and you didn't get that money, you can flip that back on Andrew and say like, hey man, where's this money?
I mean, the whole point of it was that Andrew was trying to get power over Victor.
Well, Nicole and
Yeah.
because there were some other ways that he was bullying, and Nicole was just like, oh yeah, hey guys, we're gonna like go down to the city and give houseless people our change. Well, that's such a good way to bully. And it's like, no, I don't understand. Like, that's just a nice thing to do. Hey guys, we're gonna go find these orphans some parents. Yeah. Okay, again, I think there's a disconnect here. You're
There's a
saying these
disconnect with what
things
you're-
are mean.
There's a disconnect with what you're seeing. So what
Yeah.
happened is that Andrew was literally trying to get power over Victor.
Yes,
He-
and I know that. But what the dumb thing is it's still through charity. It's like
it's not through charity though.
Yes,
think-
it is. That's a definition of charity.
It's not.
So I think
There's got to be some goodwill there.
Just
and there's
let me
not.
do jokes, Corwyn, on this show that I did not
No.
enjoy.
No, not
Yeah.
allowed. It's my.
I'm gonna watch a short film for my birthday, and you'll be like, "Oh my god, thank you, James." I'll be like, "Yeah." Now I'm shaming
so
you.
did you not like this show like beginning episode 1?
Oh yeah. And then I
Okay.
did. I said it to Corwyn. I had the misfortune of Nicole immediately picking out the flaws, and she's like, "Oh, everything in this is cliche. Like all of it's
yeah.
bad." And
That's
then
also Love Simon.
It's what Love Simon was.
what? I don't.
Love Simon was a lot of cliches,
A lot of
James.
cliches and
Andrew. Let's quickly go back to
Cheesy.
Andrew. Andrew
Okay,
was like played pretty much almost identical, the same character in Booksmart, that same actor. But this dude is like in here. It's just
He wasn't though, because Andrew, the character that he played in Booksmart, was nice, just oblivious.
I mean, he was.
I don't remember
He
him.
wasn't mean. He was the one that the smart girl was in love with.
Oh, yes. Okay.
It's Cuba Gooding Jr.'s son.
Still, he's charismatic in that, and then this. I think even Anna Ortiz, which I love in Ugly Betty. Just everyone. I was like, I don't care about any of these people. They're 2 thumbs down for them. No, thank you.
Well, I can tell you
Interesting.
for a fact that all the people that I watched it with enjoyed it.
What?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Maybe
I love it.
maybe because Nicole set me up, but I think and then TC also was like, yeah, it's okay.
Well, the other thing too is to remember. I don't think that this show is geared. I mean, I don't know who it's geared towards.
Oh,
to be
yeah,
honest,
yeah.
But I
It's
think
not
it's
really geared
totally,
towards us. to be
Yeah.
honest.
Right, I was gonna say. I think it's like for younger people because teenage
Mhm.
TV for me is so different than
It is
like
so
any
different.
other TV. I
I
don't
will
know.
preface that and say that I love it because I have a very, very soft spot in my heart for like coming of age stories. And that's the gay thing, I love
Mhm.
seeing a gay coming of age story.
Normally I
Yeah.
do too.
There's so many, and I love it. Well, James, all the ones that we've watched have been like adults.
I love Simon, that
Except for
Alex
Love Simon.
Strangelove. Alex Strangelove, that Freak Show. I think a lot of these have like maybe if we've done, what's this, 92? I don't know, maybe like 14 have been teen focus, maybe?
14?
Yeah.
That's a
But that
lot.
would make a difference. But how do you feel about like Victor and his journey, let's say? Instead of looking at like the TV show and how bad it is. Like I don't know. Did you like Victor and his little story?
I liked his
Will you
kind
watch season
eyes.
2?
No, I don't.
No, I
like.
figured not.
Oh, we're watching season 2.
Oh my God. It better it better be because of COVID, a short order.
Wow. You really
Yes.
don't
not.
like this.
He really doesn't like this. Good.
It just isn't for me. But in the same, but I would say like I loved Never Have I Ever. It's still like, but this seems like it wanted to be more of a teen drama. But these days, teen dramas have to have a murder and some weird plots going on. So it's in this weird sense that it's given as a rom-com, but it's not that fun. Like there's not a lot of hard jokes in it. So it's just like kind of watching people live.
It's not a rom-com. It's a coming of age.
Well, no, I mean that's what it's listed like. It's listed under as a rom-com, at least where Nicole is reading, because she's like, "Does this get better?" Because she watched the first episode, and she said, "Oh no, reviews are saying first episode's choppy. It gets better," and it does, but
It didn't for you though.
It didn't for you.
I mean, it went from like a 4 to like a 6.
I mean, I will say there were some moments where there were funny moments. Like there were definitely funny moments because like right off the bat, I was like, Miss Albright.
Miss
She's
Albright,
like,
hilarious.
The little brother, he is so funny.
Oh my
like,
God, the ice
teaser,
powers thing. Okay.
Yeah.
I laughed at the grandpa being homophobic and being like, you let him play with the girl toys, and then the dad being like, no, he's a very macho boy. He usually uses it as a sword.
Right.
He's very macho boy. And then immediately, as soon as he said macho boy, the little boy goes, screams. So high pitched about his grandma being there. It was a very cute, very funny moment. Also, Felix
funny.
and Lake stealing the tres leches from the bakery. Well, not stealing it. They literally paid for it. He threw money at the cashier and took the cake. So they paid for it. They just stole it from the guy.
I thought that was super funny. And I also like in my mind just like, I wonder what that guy like went home and or like what did he use as a replacement for that cake?
I mean, he was literally like, I'm just apologizing to my wife and it's her favorite cake. Dude.
That I did. What he says is something I've written down. The reason why he's trying to apologize to his wife is because he called his sister shrill and tried to prove his point.
Yeah, it's funny. And like, and Felix
very charming throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
I love him so much.
Like one of my favorite moments too is him in the Battle of the Bands, like trying to do this like DJ stuff. And
thing.
I was like,
he was like, he blocked his view. He started out great, and then he just oh no.
Yeah, it went downhill. I think there are moments that are funny, and again, maybe it's not like wasn't like haha funny. You know, I don't know if I was ever like whoa, crying, but
crying from emotions. Which I was talking about in the beginning, him telling Felix was great because he was like, turn around. And Felix, there was that tension there where we were like, how is Felix going to react? Because he made him turn around and Felix was like, can I turn around now?
Yeah.
Can I come back? And that was cute. And then also Felix and Pilar hanging out and Pilar just being super sarcastic and Felix just being like, yeah, I had a great time with you. It's just
that was pretty funny.
That like charming relationship there.
For like a moment.
Companionship. Yeah. I love Felix. James disagrees.
Because like all the characters, it's just off to me. Like it just doesn't.
I think it's mostly you.
It's not the two other people that I've talked to had the same opinions.
I think it's
Did you like Love
James.
Simon?
Yeah, I loved Love Simon.
Did you though?
Yes.
I'm not believing you now.
No, before this year, there was only one movie that I didn't love, which was Make-A-Wish. And then this year, I don't know, maybe the pandemic did something to me, but
nah.
We've been watching some stuff. I'm like, ooh, this isn't for me.
Well, you didn't like The Favorite either.
Ooh.
The Favorite. Which one was that?
It's the one like old timey, like Rachel, what's her face?
Rachel Weisz, Emma Stone.
Yeah, Emma Stone. Like,
But I mean, I enjoyed that. Like, I wouldn't watch it again, but I didn't hate it. I was like, hey, this isn't for me. At least visually, it's good. The cinematography's great. And there's that orange throwing scene that freaking Corwyn thought was tomatoes, like a rube.
Tomatoes.
I'm kidding you. I'm not. You're a rube. It's your birthday. But Ammonite, that. Oh, boy.
And that one was really good.
Oh, you
I like that
lied
one
to
more than the
yourself.
favorite.
You're probably someone who thinks The Shining's a good movie.
Never seen it.
it's
Don't.
scary.
It's not, man. It's B-roll footage for 2 hours.
I get scared. I think it's just like the music.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm one of those people who like music really can like scare me. Like, you know, maybe like
Anyway.
visually. Anyway.
Love Victor.
Does the X-Files theme scare you just by hearing it?
I get a little creeped.
Same.
Like, what's behind my bed?
What's back there?
What's going on?
Where's that ghost man
Oh my
at?
god. Love Victor though. Love Victor.
Okay, I am happy that Bram and Simon were still together. That gave me
They're still together in New York.
Great
the, New
joy.
York the New York was great.
I love that.
that so Victor came out to them, but like he was so scared to until, you know, Bram was like, hey, there's so many facets to being gay. Like, it's not just this. And then even later, playing on that, there's so many facets to being gay, when he finds out that all of them actually already knew who Victor was, that he was like, oh, y'all are just like, you know, fucking with me. But he wasn't. Simon told them all and read it all, because like there are so many facets to being gay, and there's like so many things that people will have experience with that Simon's not going to have experience with. So it's like, you know, it takes a village.
I love that part.
Kind of,
to raise a baby
that's one
gay.
thing that I took notes of. Like Bram was like, there's no one way to be gay. The one thing you can't be is afraid. And I was like, ooh. And then
Bram.
I know, well, because there's that weird moment too in that episode where I was like, I wonder if like Simon, the actor who plays Simon, like wasn't able to be in that scene with the rest of the
100% was not able to be there. He is not seen with Bram and the rest of them.
And
he
then
is
when,
seen
like,
on his own.
Yeah, and then when like I think
In the
Victor
bar
like looks back
Katya.
and then there's like and like Simon's way back there in a different like shot, and I was like, that's so strange. I wonder
And they didn't
what
have the shot with Simon until Victor went outside.
Yeah.
I think they just had they probably had different like schedules that they couldn't make work. So
and that's the
they
thing
were
too,
like,
is
well,
maybe
this
this
could be-
wasn't very high budget either. Maybe that's part of it.
No,
I
and
don't
like
know.
part of it is that it was originally picked up and going to be done by Disney, and then it was not going to be on Disney Plus because it was gay. That's why they moved it to Hulu, because it was
That's really
PG-13 or whatever.
Oh.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make
Frickin'
sense.
Disney.
Mandalorian and WandaVision are also TV-14. For some episodes, don't at me.
It's because it was gay.
Yeah. There were...
Bunch of
Because I'm like now aware of that, I was like, okay, I remember one episode being TV-14. I was like, is this? But then they're like saying shit and talking about having only one testicle. I'm like, okay, yeah, that is TV-14, I guess.
Yeah. Andrew literally named him Lone Stone, and then just kept joking about it. Andrew was just so like, he was so unaware that he was a dick. It's like, everyone knows I'm just joking, right? And it's like,
because Mia does call him out kind of, but like being, kind of what you said, James, a very good type of bully. Really like doesn't know, but he's trying, and like I don't know what the fuck is going on with him. But he does have another arc where then he writes, instead of writing Lone Stone, he writes Felix has huge balls plural, right?
yeah,
or something like that.
It's like, okay, you're beginning to be a nicer person. Good luck. And like the same with Lake, like she's beginning to be a nicer person, but not really. Because did you see how hurt my girl Wendy looked? She was so hurt that Felix was really hurt. And then she was like, Felix,
also,
you're in love with her. Go ahead. Yeah,
you can't fight it.
She wasn't gonna fight it. I hope she's back in season 2. I hope that
she'll probably come back together.
watching it multiple times, I know she's the one that, like, when they're in the theater doing the monologues or whatever, and Felix and Victor are sitting down, and Mia messages him, "I miss your muscular legs." She's the one doing that weird monologue that Felix is just like so intrigued by.
Oh man, I don't think I was paying enough attention.
Yeah.
I only watched this once, but when she came up in like episode 8, I'm like, who the fuck is this person? I was like, scanning my mind, I was like, oh, she must be that weirdo doing the monologue.
She was the one doing the monologue. I like that they take those like actors that have like small moments like that. Like she's not in the show like straight up, but she gets brought in. And it's like the same person. She's been there the whole time in the back, you know? And it's the same with, so when Mia throws the stoplight party at her house, the girl that comes up and talks to Mia randomly through the party and is like, I can't believe you're doing this. She's the one that was giving away the Olive Garden gift card in Prom King or Winter.
Yes.
Spring Formal King and Queen.
She did make an appearance, yeah.
So like those people just like they're going to school and like they're there. So I think that was cool to do with like the bit people and the characters, you know?
Yeah.
Can I have a logistics concern for the NYC episode? Victor's 16. How is he getting into that club?
Yeah.
Maybe there's
alcohol, so he shouldn't be there.
He should not be there.
Unless it's a concert venue and it's an all ages. And if someone's 21, they can say like, I am their guardian and sign off on it.
That's just the suspension of disbelief, James. We're just gonna have to put that way because like also, how are all these kids at this party? Like
that question kills me a little bit.
How they all got
like,
alcohol.
You're over here.
James is like nitpicking.
How did he do it?
James is like, I absolutely adore, Bed and Breakfast of Horror, but this show.
Hold on.
How dare they?
It's a gay bed and breakfast of terror, I believe.
Yeah.
No, any show, if there's a 16-year-old hanging out in a club, that's just me like knowing. Being someone who went to shows and all of that, like that doesn't seem realistic. My mom would have had to be there the entire time, if at all, because sometimes 21 up shows a child can't go in there at all, even with an X on your hand.
I think you just kind of
we're just gonna assume that it was a nice fun.
Also, Corwyn, as someone who 2 of my best friends died as teens in a drunk driving accident, it's very easy for teens to get a lot of alcohol.
And that's not cool.
So that party
in a mansion?
scene, yes, in a mansion. Yes.
No, what I'm saying is like just an entire free mansion. There's no staff. There's no one that's going to tell Mia's dad that, hey, there's a party going on. We already know there's a housekeeper. Like there are neighbors. Literally that party didn't get stopped by the cops, which they usually do in these movies like that.
I had friends who had houses this big. However, it's not in Atlanta. It is in the back of the woods in Muskegon, Michigan. So the price is slashed in half. So I'm not saying like I had exuberantly wealthy friends. That's not at all. But those size, that's not really a mansion. It's a very large house, but it's going to have like 5 rooms, 2.5 bath. You don't need a house. You don't need on-duty live-in staff to maintain that. So
they're still going to be there like every day, especially if the dad is like traveling a lot. He's going to have people there.
But not at night.
And he doesn't seem like a neglectful parent.
Also, if she's paying giving the neighbors. Checks,
neighbors,
literally neighbors.
As long as they're not being too loud and staying inside, neighbors probably don't.
They were
give
loud
a shit.
as fuck.
Well, you also, you've seen movies at the high school parties. It's always
James.
Way bigger.
They always
than whatever
do that.
the fuck we were doing.
Literally. They did it in Love, Simon.
Well, also remember, all of these teens are adults and know how to drink responsibly.
Right.
They're
Except
all
for
adults.
Felix, who passed out, which we've all passed out maybe once or twice, but yeah.
Not from boozing. I've never been drunk. Those hoppy herbs have never touched my lips.
Mia was just so petty. That's the one thing I took away from watching it so many times is that she's so petty throughout the whole thing.
She's a good actress, like with her eyes.
Yeah.
Like, her eyes will always she'll like roll them or like look over here. And I was like, oh, well, she said 1,000 words with that look,
And those 1,000 words are just her being petty.
Yeah.
Like, she's just... It's like, okay, the thing that frustrated me is that she's that petty and like she's set up as like this person that everyone loves and all of that. But then like, you get the pettiness, you get her being pissed at Victor and not saying anything about it, but being pissed at Victor because they haven't slept together yet, even though they're underage. And Victor, they haven't talked about it. There hasn't been consent given. And then she gets mad when Victor shows up with Felix to her house so they don't, have sex. And it's like, he never consented to have sex with you. So, like, stop being pissy when he shows up with his friend,
I know. She did get overly mad. And I was like... She
got overly mad at that. She got overly mad at him going on the trip with
Benji.
The work trip.
The work trip.
Yeah. And then Sophia Bush had that line where she was like, you always make time for the people you love. And it's like, okay, but he was working. He's poor. To be fair, the thing that happened was he did kiss Benji at that. But she also, they didn't
have to stay overnight either.
They didn't have to stay overnight. Victor chose to do that.
Yeah.
But as far as she knew, they did, and it was work involved.
Yep.
And it's like, he doesn't work for you. He can't be there all the time.
Yeah.
That's how it works. And before you go, I wanted to talk about it. I was getting to it. So Victor kissed Benji there, and then Mia kissed Andrew.
Yeah.
Well, Andrew kissed Mia, technically. And she said she shut it down, but not right away. She literally said that. I shut it down, but not right away. And she didn't tell Victor about it. But she saw them kissing, and got upset and stuff. And it's like, you kissed someone else too.
She did. That's true. I hadn't even thought about that, actually.
I think that's a little different, though. Like, they're straight up making out, and also at prom, winter formal, whatever this is. And I'm okay with her being angry about. Also, as someone who
100% it's okay with her being angry about it, but she hadn't talked to Victor about kissing Andrew. And like, he's gay. He's gay.
Yeah.
On the like work trip thing, as someone who used to work a lot and would put Nicole and I have had in the almost 8 years, we've had maybe like 4 major fights. 3 of them were because I worked too much. So I'm looking through that eyes of like, no, dude, it's a fucking tiny job. You don't need to be here. You made a commitment. Do that. That's on it through my eyes. The one other fight, it's been well chronicled. Nicole said I was eating too much ice cream, and I put my foot down and said, no, I am not eating. I will have a fight about this.
The thing about the work trip, though, is that Victor needed to, have that job. So you've got to look at it.
He had $5,000 in the bank, dude.
No, he didn't.
James, with this charity GoFundMe.
You've got to look at it at the lens so Victor comes from a family that is telling him to work, to like pay for basketball and stuff like that. So he's got to work. Mia is literally living in this giant ass house, paying housekeepers. If she's the only one there, the housekeepers are cleaning up after her.
Right.
Technically housekeeper. We only know of one.
Oh.
Housekeeper. And her dad's this big university president and all that. So like she's got money. She comes from money.
Yeah.
He does not. He needs to work.
And Benji asked him to go with him because Benji's driver's license got suspended. So like he realizes once he's on the trip that it was good that he went, because then he could help Benji out and Benji didn't have to like sit in the car with his freaking boss. But yeah, and I was like, oh, when he found out about Benji's driver's license, that's a good reason.
And the thing is that Mia didn't know. Mia knew that hey, he was on a work trip. He's trying to get back.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I remembered the other thing
And
I
then
wanted
she's
to
just
say.
pissed about it the whole time.
I never really picked up on her being petty. I was just seeing like this character is written to just have all of the shit thrown at her.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
you know, her
Yep.
technically all of our four main characters that we have do have bad family life, but
Yeah.
she had like the mom who left at 12, dad is never there, she's very alone, had like a rocky relationship with Andrew that wasn't a relationship but was like a one-time thing, then has like a boyfriend who is feeling distant, then dad gets a spouse. Like, there were so many things that I was like, man, I feel like she's just gonna walk in and like it's gonna be a murder-suicide and like
literally, but like whenever he got this new person, you know, she doesn't trust any of his past relationships and stuff, but this person is trying to be there for her and trying to make it work. But Mia couldn't get past her own shit until the very end when Andrew wouldn't go and sleep with her.
Right.
And then when that finally happened, then she finally was like, okay, I can get past my own shit and have this shoulder to cry on.
Well, I think too, one thing I got kind of mad at Mia too, of like, you got to own up to the fact that like you called Andrew, you lost your virginity to him. You just got to kind of like deal with that. You can't be mad about it or like be mad at him. I don't know. I thought that was like kind of strange because it was consensual. Like there was no.
She's mad at him about it. She was texting him whenever Andrew was like commenting to Ali Wong. She was texting him like, "Oh, you'll just hit on anything," like stuff like that. She was the entire time they were like cleaning the school and stuff. She was like looking at Andrew and jealous of Andrew and Lake.
They were also there.
Made that
all
comment
day.
to Felix. Yeah, they were there literally all day. That's fucking hilarious.
Okay.
Ali Wong screaming about Omar. So funny.
But I also was like, I would have been like, can I go? Can I go? Can I go?
Can I go though?
Can I just get out?
My favorite part about them getting detention though was like literally so Mia texting Andrew and being like pissy, and then Lake accidentally texting Mia, and then like Felix is just hearing these noises around him. He's like, "Hey," he sent a group text. He sent a group text to all three of them, and was like, "Hey guys, feel like I'm missing out."
I love that. I was like, I can relate.
I love you so much. Felix is great. I love that moment. I like the show. It's not the best show, but it has some great moments.
I think just like the message of it, right? I think is one of the biggest things. Like, figure out what you want before someone gets hurt, and you know, I think that was like one of the last Simon advice that I took a note, or one of the like mid things of like him just being like, you got to figure out.
I also like the
Simon gave like
go ahead with Simon.
Yeah, he just like gave the best advice, and we know why, because he had his friends in New York and his people helping him out with that. That was super cool.
I like that format of him like messaging Simon, because in Love, Simon we had Simon messaging Bram and like, that back and forth there. So that over monologue with Simon a lot through the movie was Simon talking to Bram. So to get that in Love, Victor, we had Victor messaging back and forth with Simon. But not in a like, oh, I like you sort of way. It's a, oh, I'm trying to figure myself out sort of way, which is sort of what Bram and Simon had as well in Love, Simon. So I think that like format and how they did that was really neat. Definitely him getting on a bus and going to Simon without even saying it until like, you know, because on the bus was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that was another one.
I'm not there, but Bram is.
Well, and I liked, he was like, and he's probably more fun, and I was like,
I did that once.
Great.
I was
What'd you do?
Just a terrible week. I was like, I was, I think 16, needed to get out of Muskegon. And there's a thing called Hell on Earth. You can see the poster right there from 2008's Hell on Earth. Yeah.
Cool.
Very bad week I had been having. Don't want to get into why. I could not drive. I couldn't drive until my senior year, and by choice. And the person who was going to drive me to Hell on Earth could not. So I didn't even plan on going. But then I was like, fuck it. I'm hitchhiking from Muskegon to Detroit as a 16-year-old boy.
Mitten.
I did it, and it was a fucking great weekend.
Who'd you meet? How many cars did you get in?
I think only 6.
Only?
Yeah, no, that's good for going 340 miles. I think that's good.
Wow.
Because
okay, yeah, you're right.
I got off right at like some technically if you include the friend who drove me to the Interstate 7. So friend drives me, I hop the fence, I start hitchhiking. Maybe 10 minutes in, someone picks me up and brings me just a little bit. Then the next person was like, yeah, I'm a business guy. I'm going to Coldwater, Michigan, meaning he was going from where I was all the way to Lansing. That's halfway. I had accounted like this will take me all night. I might have to sleep at a rest stop, but it truly took, it normally would take like 3.5 hours to get there. It took me maybe 4 because the next person took me, and this dude was like, oh, I'll teach you I'll teach you the real way to, like, you don't need that map quest bullshit. I was like, dude, I am terrible with directions. You're also kind of seeming like a serial killer right now. So I'm just going to follow this map. So
that's scary.
That guy takes me pretty much to Detroit, or Wayne County, I should say. And then this is the last two are the most best stories for two polar opposite reasons. It is two like a redneck couple pick me up. They bring me quite to where I need to go, but one of them had to pee. Like the man had to pee and just veered off behind a dumpster and peed there. And then I remember him saying about his wife, like, her nipples look like bullets, don't they? And I was like, yeah, man. Okay, I'm a boy, so please refrain. And then the next person picked me up and drove me like all the way to this place. I was like, oh, thank you. So this is great. Like, you live near here? And he was like, oh, no, like I could have gotten off like 15 minutes back there. But my dad used to always tell me stories of him hitchhiking. And this is kind of my way of like paying it forward for my dad. I was like, dude, that's so nice. Thank you so much. And then I had to find friends who sort of friends from MySpace who lived in the area. And they had a friend who had a car in their backyard that let me sleep in their car. And they gave me like a really big knife just in case.
Crazy. It's crazy.
And that's like the end.
Yeah. That's exactly like Victor here.
No. I am excited to see June 11th, the next season comes out. I'm excited to see what happens with him and his family, because we saw him coming out and all he said was, I'm gay. And then it just showed his face and then it went to black. So it's like, what happened? Because the parents are getting divorced, or they're
separated.
Separated. So it's like, what's gonna happen with that? And the dad so we haven't done one day at a time, but the dad is from that show and he plays the dad on that as well. Yes. And the dad on that is homophobic when he's first introduced, and like something in that show as well. But like, yeah, the dad's made some homophobic comments, so we're just like, how are they gonna react? How is the mom gonna react? We don't know. But
we don't know.
Interesting to see.
On the grandparents episode, like, it would have also been so good for Victor to, because it was right there, right in front of him. But, you're a 16-year-old. You don't know how to confrontate with your father. Mm-hmm. When the dad comes in and he's like, hey, about today. And then Victor's like, yeah, I'm sorry that I talked to them that way. And the dad goes, no, I'm glad you were, you stood up to my father. I was bad at doing that. I wish I had back in the day, because they always told me to do things this way. And then he says like a microaggression type shit of saying like, I
hope your little brother doesn't turn out like that.
And he could have just said like, hey, actually.
If he ended the talk there, if he ended the talk before he said that, would have been a great talk. Been like, yes, Dad, yes, good job, Dad. But then he had to throw that in. He had to throw that in.
Yeah, because he was saying how like, oh, who cares what these boys do at school? Like, blah blah blah. Who cares what they do? That's their life. And you're like, wow, he gets it. He's getting it. And then
he's getting it. There's hope. And then,
but at least you're hopefully
he
your
fell on
brother.
his goddamn face at the finish line.
And it would have been so easy for Victor to say like, hey, actually, Dad, because you're okay with like it happening at school, why wouldn't you also be okay if your son is this way as well? And it's it was like, oh my God, this is how I can find out my father's real reaction without laying it on me. This is a hypothetical about my younger brother. Oh my God, this is perfect.
Because whenever you are feeling that way, James, whenever you are holding that in your heart and you're still in the closet, it's very hard to talk about anything like that, especially when your parents make those microaggression comments. Because you're like, you just end the conversation. You just go away from it. You don't talk about it. Because, if you start bringing up things like that, then what they say, and personal experience, they say it all the fucking time. What they say is, why do you care? Are you?
Right.
Every fucking time.
It's hard to gauge, especially when like you're about to go to bed too, so you're like, I don't know if this is the right time.
He was courageous and stood up to his parents and his grandparents at that moment. And then the little brother came in with the Elsa wand, diffusing the tension. That's like literally the entire family. It's like Pilar is like amps everything up, and then like Victor and Adrian are just like, is it Adrian?
Pilar pissed me off so much.
They're just like diffusing the tension.
Yes.
Pilar literally wrecked everything. Pilar last episode was like, I am a wrecking ball and I am wrecking everything. She literally walked in, she got Benji and Derek broken up. She went like
that I was happy about, but just the way she did, I was like, oh no, girl. Oh no, girl.
And then she pissed at Victor.
Because
that was so bad.
Like, I wanted this to be more of a comedy. What I was hoping for that to be is, because I didn't remember the name of the like manager or owner of the cafe, I was hoping her name also started with a B or even last name. And then it's turning into, oh my God, this woman is taking advantage of my brother, and then her go like that way. And it's like, no, guys, this is a very big misunderstanding.
You wanted it to be a 90s sitcom. You wanted it to be a sitcom. You didn't.
I wanted it to be like more absurd. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, Love, Simon wasn't absurd.
Yeah, it was. What are you talking about? Didn't he have like weird dreams? He wrote in a diary. That's weird.
Okay, James. So overall,
I also don't. That could have been
like
Alex Strangelove. I don't know.
I was like, that was
the show.
I did like this show, and I will watch season 2.
You will watch season 2. I will watch season 2. I'm gonna make James watch season 2 because I am vindictive. Thank you, petty Corwyn.
Petty.
It's my
Mia
birthday.
was being petty.
Petty time.
If we do it in a year from now, I'm fine with that.
I make these decisions, James. I make these decisions. I'm just kidding.
I think I know my birthday movie now.
Oh.
You're trying to watch something that I hate.
Oh no, it's actually, I was going to do like one of those like, campy sci-fi ones. No, I think if I can find a guest for Chasing Amy, which I might have a guest for Chasing Amy, it'll be Chasing Amy.
We talked about it a lot. But yeah, thank you guys for being here. Thank you, Nina, for being here. Thanks for coming in on my birthday.
No problem. Happy birthday.
The big 25.
That was a few years ago. Welcome back, Zelly. We literally just got done talking. Zelly, did you like Love Victor? In the chat, did you like Love Victor?
Oh, I should also say, like, if this is your alley, go for it. But if you're like,
not James's thing. James wanted it to be absurd. James wanted it to be things it's not. James wanted Victor to be straight, and he wasn't.
Oh my! Shut up! Fuck off!
That's what it was.
Oh my God! No, but the thing is, like, I liked Love, Simon, and so maybe I went into this.
I'm having doubts.
Hey, good thing.
It's different.
Zelly said, "Heck yeah, you know I did. I know she did. I watched it with Zelly, and she loved it."
Good thing you can re-watch or
James
re-listen.
did not like it, Zelly.
You can re-listen to the Love, Simon episode, and I'm pretty sure I said to people, yeah, I highly recommend.
I think you did. I think you did, actually.
I think he did, but he could have been lying. He could have liked it.
Why would I lie? Why would I wait until
he was lying because he was in danger, because I was like, I love this movie so much, James.
No,
and then he was
I
like,
do not care.
If I don't say that I don't like this movie, Corwyn's going to hurt me.
Why would you hurt me?
I wouldn't. Or would I? Just kidding. No, I wouldn't.
Or maybe I would.
Or maybe I would. Maybe mentally. Maybe emotionally. Maybe. Who knows? Certainly not me. Yeah, Zelly, we'll watch Love, Simon. We'll watch it. Zelly hasn't seen Love, Simon. The people I watch it with came into Love Victor not seeing Love, Simon.
Nicole... There was a very funny thing where Nicole said, who the fuck are these characters? Am I supposed to know them? I was like, yes, this is based on the movie that when you looked at reviews and you're like, what the fuck? Why am I... This is a movie? And I'm like, no, that's the movie this is based on. And she's like, wait, what? Then when she was like, am I supposed to know these characters? I was like, yes, it's the spinoff of the movie you looked at reviews for. And she's like, oh, okay. What? And then she's like, but what if I haven't seen it? And I was like, see it. It's on Hulu. I'm positive it is.
It is. Mm-hmm. It's pretty good.
I'm just showing my makeup off to my best friend, Taylor.
Yeah, show it off.
Showing it off. Hello.
Corwyn,
Yeah.
I might have even put Love, Simon in my top 5 of those movies. Like, I think it was first year, right?
Don't believe you.
I think you might have, actually.
Yes.
I think he might have, but I don't believe it.
Oh, fuck off, man.
It's not on Hulu, but I own it, Zelly.
Wait, it's not?
I bought it actually when I got my teeth pulled out, and Nina was gonna come over to keep me from dying.
I was.
But she didn't need to. But she came over anyway, I think.
Well, I was so ready to help you. I was like,
you were like, right. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna help you. And she didn't need to, because they didn't put me to sleep or anything. I was just wide awake. Like, oh, you just ripping that shit out. Okay.
And then I get to go home.
No pain meds, just numbing it. Okay. All right, I'm strong. I got my wisdom teeth taken out, and they did not put me to sleep or anything. They just literally ripped them out, and they were like, all right, you're good to go. And it's great. I was. But yeah, thank you so much for being here, Nina. You highly recommend. I do. Highly recommend. You highly recommend. Great.
I highly recommend. Oh, yeah.
And James recommended if this is up your alley. I highly recommend. It is definitely, like, if you don't like coming of age things, or you're not a fan of, like, the teen shows, like the 100 and things like this. Has nothing to do with 100. It just happens to be like one of those teen shows that's not a teen show. Go ahead and not watch it. But if you do like any of those things, or just want to love the character Felix, because we all did, except James.
Also, I believe Nicole also didn't like Felix.
How could you not like Felix? It's like you're saying you don't like me, James.
No,
that's
you
what
are
you're saying right now.
Because
I was like, that's the rest of this podcast.
Oh my god,
that's the rest of this podcast is James saying
the rest of my 12-hour stream. The remaining 9 hours will be me saying that James doesn't like me because he doesn't like Felix.
You are nothing like Felix. You are cool and charismatic.
No,
you are. Your face.
Nina's face when you said that, though. Nina went. The disrespect in my stream.
I haven't disrespected you once. I would just like to say that.
You disrespected me by not loving Felix.
Oh my god.
The disrespect.
You too.
Anyway, do you have any plugs, Nina?
No
I say
plugs.
Follow us on Instagram and on the social media things, and follow Instagram and Twitter at This Movie's Gay. Hello, we're there. Me at Instagram and Twitter at Corwinning. I'm here Also on Twitch at Corwinning. Thank you so much. Those are my plugs. James, have at it.
Hey guys, listen to my other podcast called Mostly Speakin' Sentai. If you want a nice starting out point, how about you check out episode 42, Birds Are Photosynthesis, with today's guest of this show, Nina.
Nina.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, Nina.
Find out information about that. Also, my other podcasts like What the Hellmouth and Hit It and Crit It over on MLMpod.com. Also, go over to Patreon, or actually, if you're watching on Twitch right now, give Mostly Speakin' Sentai a follow. I'm doing nice stuff over there, playing video games, going to be talking about very underground rap music that isn't available anywhere.
Don't harass him about not liking Felix, please. Thank you.
Hey, if you are being a viewer, I'm fine with you being in the chat.
Oh, I know.
I don't even ban bots. It's a viewer.
James, you should really ban the bots.
They're trying to make me famous and get followers instantly, Corwyn.
No, they're not.
Shut it down.
Shut it down.
And then you can also support us the best way possible by going to patreon.com/MLMpod, where you get exclusive podcasts every single Friday, like talking about Beyblade, Engage with Nicolas Cage, the Toku Reading Corner, and the podcast that be. That's just $5. You get podcasts every single Friday. And if you're a $10 patron, you get exclusive streams and watch-alongs. And you get friggin' shout-outs every single week on our free feed podcast, starting with, oh my God, I wasn't there. Even though I have them memorized, I still go to the page just to make sure I don't forget anyone. They're gracious $10 patrons, starting with Steve F.,
Steve F.
Eric Berry of Ranger Command Power Hour.
Steve F was in chat earlier.
Whoa.
Eric Berry of Ranger Command Power Hour. Hello.
Alex Z.
Alex Z, aka The Waz.
Orion.
Orion.
Is a rapper.
Is that Defo?
Yes, okay.
Defo?
Yeah.
Yes.
Kayla, aka
Two grapes.
Tyler Wright. He doesn't have an aka yet.
Just your friend.
Yes. Elliot W.
Garlic Sunshine.
On Instagram. And Jordan B. the Chaos Witch.
The Chaos Witch. Hello. Those are our Patreons. Thank you, James. Thank you, Nina.
Back
No
at ya.
problem. Love you.
Sorry,
So,
I
James,
friggin'
I think I
roasted your
love-
love.
I think I love Felix more than you.
Wow, that's just rude on so many levels.
All right, you too.
You've hugged me while I cried about my friend dying from
really-
cancer, so...
I really did. I really did hug you.
Nice of you.
It was very nice. It was very kind of me.
Also a
I'm
friend
very
of
kind.
yours, you know?
Yeah.
I think Frank considered you a friend. He slept on you
Aw.
He was
sometimes.
a friend of mine. I fed him.
Yeah.
I gave him sustenance.
R.I.P.
I visited
Franklin.
him. Patted him.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. I told you to heat up his food so that it goes down easier.
Oh.
Okay, I'm going to take a quick break. Love you both. I will
Bye.
see y'all later. And I'm going to go play some games, I guess. Bye.
Awesome.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, I've been Corwyn.
And I've been James. Bye.
Bye, Nina.
Bye.
Bye.
Man, this is going to edit together poorly.
Very poorly, but that's okay.
Bye.
Bye.
This has been a Marshland Media production, produced by James McCullum. For more content, please visit MLMpod.com. To support our network and have access to exclusive podcasts, head over to patreon.com/MLMpod and sign up today.